After show, but later, episode number brand new. Here we are. El Cucuy, D.
So I got one with Rich being full of
About what?
kids in the gym and going to the gym with your kids and his whole spiel of nonsense about the gym in his childhood. So Columbus, Tip Dog, and I'm sure there's more. But me and those two guys have been going to the gym since 1991.
Mm-hmm.
We would hop the fence. I mean, God, they had an Olympic-sized heated swimming pool. Who don't want to do that? Does your buddy have one? I mean, so we've been going, and so when we were in boys league, I used to have to make weight because we had to be like 155 with pads. So I would be there every Saturday morning, sweating my ass off in the sauna. Like I've been
Yeah.
going to the gym. I used to take my kids to the gym. Like when there was periods of time where I was, my kid always lived with me. So when I was single, I was like single, and we would go every night to the gym. And she was in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth grade. Like, so I don't know what lifestyle Rich lives. And if he doesn't want to take his kids to the gym because they're too little, they probably are. But
Mm-hmm.
any man who has a son that's active in sports after the age of like 12, you're not going to go to the gym with your kid? Because his little ass needs to be in the gym if he's got professional dreams. But the thing is, he has to realize too, he has little kids. So yeah, I know Ben is as big as Bam Bam, but I don't see him picking up a 45-pound weight bar with, 225s on each side right now.
You know what? I remember, dog, the earliest I remember going to the gym, obviously I don't go often, but the earliest I remember going,
I do, and I do. So it doesn't, just because you go off and that don't mean nothing either.
but the earliest I remember going, dog, was in like probably when I was maybe like 14, 15, whenever they would like allow you to go in or whatever. Before that, you could go in with like a parent or something. So I remember going with my brother, like
We went in
literally
at 14.
Yeah, like I think you had to be accompanied by somebody older or whatever. But if you wanted to go on your own with nobody else, you had to be like 16 or something.
No, they had to buy us memberships. Like we actually had to have our own membership, but I had a gym membership at 14.
Yeah. No, and I think, dog, I think my first one ever was at the fucking YMCA.
Yeah.
I remember just going, dog, and like yeah, just working out like with my brother and my cousins or whoever, and yeah, that was cool. But I think, I mean, it is as soon as you're able to start lifting in like gym class in like seventh, eighth grade, whatever, whenever they first give you a gym class, right?
Right.
Then and they actually have weights, like when you're little, they have you doing push-ups and shit. But then when you actually get to somewhere that has an actual weight set and all that, then you kind of want to go, after school or whatever, and you're kind of with your friends, you want to get pumped for the chicks, because after like, fourth, fifth grade, you're already trying to get some, so like,
hey, shout out John Rooker. He's a DUI attorney in Fresno, but he gave me my first weight set when I was 10.
yeah.
I think he had the plastic weights, and he upgraded to the to the steel plates, or the real ones. And I was 10 years old pumping that thing. I only had 135 pounds, boy, but I was hitting it.
Yeah.
I thought I was Master P before Master P.
Doug, I remember we used to bag on a friend of mine because he used to we always joked that anytime you saw him, he was lifting.
Okay.
And so I remember he had a dumbbell in the back seat of his car, Doug. That's how often like that's how funny it was that we would bullshit. And like Luis's cousin Ralph, he had a dog named Gizmo. And we'd be like, where the fuck is Gizmo at? And you look and Chris is all curling him. And but you know what it was though?
That's too much. See, that's too much.
It was just, no, he wasn't really curling him, but we were making fun of him like that's what he was doing. But
he probably was when you weren't looking. He just didn't want you to see.
It's funny though, because I remember he actually had he was with some bad people doing some bad shit or whatever. And then his mom, I remember he had told me the story. His mom one day bought him a weight set and like threw it in his room, like, here. And he started lifting and shit, dog. And that's when he actually kind of got away from like those people and started like, just being into lifting and shit. And it's crazy because that was probably the best shape I was in my life, is when him and I were kicking it 24/7. We were just lifting, and that was high school, So
yeah.
So back to your original point, for Rich to say that like kids or high school kids or whatever aren't going or whatever, that's a little crazy.
Well, where else are you really going to race Olympic style your buddies in a pool? Like, where else are you going to see who can hold their breath the longest, but an Olympic-sized pool with, the little lanes? I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't even just all about lifting weights. It was all about the heated sauna and the jacuzzis and because obviously those are big. They fit like 20 people. So, even when you're 15, if you get into that one with your buddies, it's not weird. You get into the little four-person one and you guys are touching legs, that's weird.
Oh my God, Doug. Louis said he wrestled in high school, in junior high school, and we used to use the gym at the school. Yeah, Doug. So people are always, I think, working out and like that.
Well, and not only that, like, hey, Dickie Davis, I wasn't breakdancing. Maybe kids in New York when you were growing up was. You're telling the story on the West Coast now. Don't act like where you think Arnold and Hogan and all these guys came with all their muscles. Like, where do you think all they weren't on New York on the corner?
They're
All
in,
the body, all the
yeah,
bodybuilders were in Venice. Like,
yeah, Venice Beach.
we move different out here. And I think sometimes he gets so caught up in just hearing himself talk that he's not taking in his surroundings or having any self-awareness before he does so. He's just yapping and assuming that his vision is the vision, but there are many variables. I mean, you know,
Yeah. It's
our
funny.
we can't just only go to the Jersey Shore in June, July, and August. Like, we can go to Malibu every day of the year. You can go to Venice Beach any day of the year, and you're probably gonna have good weather.
I think that argument that you're talking about is something that was actually a topic of conversation this week because Rich was talking about like he had, the open house and for his kids and, chumming it up with other parents and Covino was like, yeah, I've been through all of this before.
Right.
And Rich is like, well, you never talked about it. And he was like, I did. You just didn't give a it
No, you
wasn't,
didn't.
it wasn't, it didn't pertain to you at the time. So you
Mm-mm.
just blew it off. So then
So
on,
again, so he needs to realize too how many of his listeners don't give a when he's talking about it.
yeah, right, because they're not there yet or
Or
whatever.
they, dude, my kid's 27, bro. Like, I'm okay. You're experiencing second grade for the first time. Woo, who, guys? You know how long ago that was for me? Like, congratulations, big boy. You finally made it to the second grade. We get it.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because Doug on I think was it yesterday on Wednesday show, Cavino was bringing up this dude that used to work on Baywatch. He used to sniff the chicks
Mm-hmm.
swimsuits, and then Thursday, Rich brings up the story and Spot and Cavino are like, "Is this real life? Like, what the is going on?" And Rich is like, "Oh no, you didn't talk about this." So Spot brought up the tape, and Rich is even responding to it. Oh yeah, that's creep behavior. And Doug, he literally contributed to the conversation. Had no idea. Like that's how far up his own ass his head is. Because
And
people always say, "Oh, Cavino's head is so far up his own ass." Doug, if you had a conversation, you contributed to it, and the next day you don't remember, what the hell? Like,
bro, Rich Davis is in his mid 40s telling most of his listeners who are in their mid 40s about the experiences of being a parent. And I guarantee 9 out of 10 people on there have already been past that stage with their own kid. He acts like it's the newest in the whole world. And like, does he not know his audience?
mhm. Yeah, and I can't talk too much because I'm right there with them as
Well, but
far as
you're
like
no,
my kids.
but you're younger
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're 12 years younger than me.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and so let me also, again, Dickie Davis, you're in your 40s, you're well off to the point where your wife doesn't even have to work, but she can still spend your money.
Hmm.
Okay. Raising a kid in those situations, and again, I heard them say on the show the other day, if you own a home in Sherman Oaks, right,
Hmm.
you got to be making some ducats.
Hmm.
Bro, raising two kids in that situation is easy. Imagine like raising them when you're 23 and they're that old, and maybe they need assistance or they don't, because how much money can you really make when you're 23?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so there's a variable that he's not even taking in consideration. Like, he had kids when he had Scratch already. Like, this is a little nice drive down easy boulevard for him. He can pay for the daycare, he can pay for this, he could pay for that, he could pay for it all. Most people don't have kids in that situation.
Well, did you hear the conversation about the lottery or about they had a conversation about if you could go in the future or some shit and look back or Google something. I forget what the the whole was. But anyway, the whole point is Rich was like, Covino, would you like look at look up Melody and see how she's doing and all this whatever. And and people in the chat were like that. I'd put the lottery numbers in there. I'd look for the lottery numbers on this day or whatever, right? And Rich is like, would you really want to win the lottery? I'm like, Doug, like he's like, what if you
I missed it, but you're telling me so let me ask you this.
I
If
swear
you
to
go and
God.
ask 1,000 people, hey, do you want to win the lottery? If I can let you win the lottery and win millions, you down?
Yeah. Rich goes,
How many? No, I don't know. Really?
no, he literally goes, he goes, yeah. I know people say that, but would you really want to? And I was like,
No, don't give me any free money. I'm sorry.
okay,
Okay, I got a bet. Okay, you know what? I got a better question pertains to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, Daniel Javier Fitz, DZF baby, know anybody that returned the stimulus check?
Not one person.
Not one, right?
No.
No one gave that shit back.
Right.
Who donated? You know anyone donated to charity?
Nope.
You know anybody that spent it on shit that you know?
I know.
You know anyone who spent that on alcohol or drugs?
I do. Actually, I do.
Okay.
I
All right.
know. Actually,
All I'm saying.
I'll one you up. I know some people who weren't eligible because they were right over that mark, and they were pissed that they weren't eligible. So, Doug, even if the government's saying, "Hey, you know what? You make too much. You're not entitled to this money," even they're like, "Hey, where's my money?" So for Rich to say, "Oh yeah, you don't know if you want to," I mean, would you really? I mean, think about it. Would you really want to win the lottery?
I mean, what I think he needs to do is he needs to listen to himself and sound like, does it not click to
Doug,
him how he sounds to the rest of us?
I don't think it does click because Doug, I can't, exactly.
I just, and hey, Rich, shout out to you. I mean, hey, you're giving us something to laugh about, but we're not trying to be
real.
mean. But goodness,
holy cow, yeah,
but
dog.
especially with the kid thing though, that's the thing. So I might not be one of all of everyone on there, but even Nicole has kids that are older. Like, bro, you waited a long time, and woohoo! I know it's fun and games for you, but you're not talking to the choir, bro. You really are talking to the choir. Most people who listen have kids that age, if not older.
Well, that's why Covino was upset because he goes, because Rich was like, well, did you, go out with other parents? And Covino goes, I did that. And he was like, and he goes, you never did. I don't know what. And Covino goes,
what am I gonna do that for?
He goes, I did. He goes, I did all that. He goes, for my daughter, I did all that. I went to dances, did all that stupid. And Rich is like, well, I don't remember you talking about it. And he goes, because our audience didn't give a fuck about it.
Right.
That was literally what Covino said.
He's right.
Rich,
I mean,
Rich is like, well, I just don't remember you talking about it. And he goes, because maybe I didn't think it was important, and the audience wasn't gonna give a fuck about it at the time, right?
But Covino reads the audience better.
Yeah,
and you got to give him, and you know what? And that's smart because as much as was going on that meant to him that maybe he wanted to yap all day because I mean that's his daughter and his first kid. He didn't because he's reading the room.
Yeah.
Read the room. Like, read the room.
Doug, but you said Rich needs to listen to himself. He literally had a conversation about something he said yesterday. So, Doug, if that's gonna happen, you think if he's not gonna remember, it just all makes sense.
Well, and think about it too, like you said, like with Covino, he didn't do it because that's not what the audience want. Now they do want it. And now she's achieving all kind of wild ass shit, and he gets to talk about it all the time, and the audience does want it.
Mm. Oh man. So
you don't gotta force it. He didn't have to force it when she was little because now we're at a stage where the audience is like, hey, give us all the details.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, so Luis says the times that Covino would talk about it, Rich always seemed disinterested. And he did. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck at the time because it had nothing to do with them, So he's like, oh, why the fuck would I? Yeah.
No, for sure. You shoot me the link, D?
Yeah, I did.
All right, next. Yeah, no, and so he just whatever. So I got a good one though. I do got a good one. I got a couple good ones, but before I get into my best one, what about Damo? keeping receipts. I got mixed feelings on that. I'll be honest. I'm not in. I've kind of, I've been in leadership positions and I know how the rules work. And if the health department shut their ass down or they're making the hurdles so big that it's not worth it to because think about it. Everything's based on money and income and flow. If he was killing it, you do whatever it take to get that bad boy running again.
Yeah.
Okay, so the conditions are so bad you can't. They told you no. So I don't know what happened, but I mean, and I'm not.
Refresh our listeners because I listened to it. I only vaguely remember it was Jordan's friend. She got hired or some shit, and
She
then
got
he
someone a
made a shit.
job. He was a manager. Then he started turning people against each other, but the whole time he was keeping receipts.
Oh yeah, so it was drama that he brought with him, right?
Something. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he was the
yeah.
instigator in the middle of it, or he was turning one against the other, or something. He was instigating and causing drama, which every workplace has it. Every one of you out there listening right now knows that you've had someone that you saw, whether you liked them or you got along with them or not. There's people that stir the pot at work. There always
Mhm.
is. I don't care if you work with 65 employees, there's probably anywhere between 2 and 5 that are stirring the pot. If you work with 8, it's probably just one, but someone is stirring the pot at all times.
Always. Hmm.
So yeah, and so I guess they fired him and he made some calls and they shut some stuff down. There was violations were heavy and they
So
didn't want to
where is
open.
it that you're torn?
Well, I'm torn because Damo did the right thing. And if you as far as keeping the receipts. Now I'm not saying he did the right thing as far as stirring shit up and being a backstabber and a crooked, there's no place for that and that's scumbag. But I manage union employees, and if you're going to ever write somebody up who's a member of the union, you better have all your documentation.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
It's just
right.
you're not going to be able to. Like the company that I worked for, you're not getting unemployment because they're going to prove why you were let go. They were
Hmm.
for cause. They're going to prove it, and you don't just prove it by saying, he sucked. You have to pull out. You got to start pulling out time and attendance records and emails and and verbal and written warnings and coach and counsel sessions, and like you have to document everything. So he covered his ass. You can't blame him for that. I mean, he did know how to cover his ass, because if it was all his fault, that place would still be open.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
right.
that. Again, running a grocery store, you have to have a food and safety and handler's permit. And I'm telling you right now, if OSHA comes in and shuts your ass down, there were some mean ass violations.
Yeah, right.
So it does suck that those old dudes don't have nowhere to booze, but maybe they all had bladder infections because they weren't properly cleaning the dishes, and now they can pee fucking clean again.
Yeah, no lie, Doug. It's just funny because you're like, yeah, I'm sure they're upset, but you're like, if you went there, aren't you more upset that they weren't up to code and shit? Like, aren't you more mad at them?
I've worked at a couple shitty pizza parlors in my youth. And you know what it takes to shut a place down? They don't just shut you down. Like they're taking away tax money and revenue of all kind, income tax, sales tax. Like
Mm,
it's not in their best interest to shut you down. Like if they shut you down, there were good reasons.
yeah, no, 100%.
So I don't know. But I don't think he should have did that. I mean, I wouldn't have did that to my former employer. I'm not going to start calling departments, and I think it's kind of shady. I don't think he should have did that.
do you
Um,
do you think Jordan should feel guilty for
no,
recommending him?
no, because not absolutely not. If he was qualified, because number one, she recommended him. I've been promoted a bunch of times in my career, and you always piss off somebody, especially if you go into a new store because they felt they should have got it. And it's like, hey, I didn't promote myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's the same with this dude. Jordan recommended him. She didn't hire him. She just said, "Hey, I think he'd be good for the job." He still had to go through the process.
Oh, you're right. That's a good point.
And if he didn't go through that process, and so if you're going to blame Jordan, then you better blame everybody else in that interview process who missed it too.
Yeah, yeah,
All
I
I did
agree.
was say, "Hey, talk to him. You're the one that spent 20 minutes in the interview, ran background checks, and called former employers." And that falls on, if he can pass that and he can interview and pass the background check, and he still is a slime ball. Like, Whose fault is that? Shame on
Then good,
everybody.
then good for him. Yeah,
I
for
mean,
being able to
yeah.
fucking finagle everybody, right?
No, that's not her fault because
Yeah.
it's if she knew he was that way and it potentially could happen, and then she's like, oh, but this time will be different, and got him the job, and now no one has income, then that'd be crappy. But it doesn't sound like that's what happened.
Um, I don't know if you heard, but Covino is bisexual.
No, I didn't. Please tune me into that.
So they were talking about how they mentioned it, a couple of months ago, and it's been kind of here and there, but they brought up the thing again where younger kids are wearing high socks, right? So they wear the calf high socks or whatever. And older dudes usually wear ankle socks or whatever. And
Right? Oh,
so Cavino, he said I do both. I wear the ankle socks and I wear higher socks or whatever. And I do too, Doug. I'll be honest. I for so long I was like, fuck it. I wear ankle socks if I have shorts. I wear higher socks if I have like dress pants or whatever, right? So I wear dress socks or whatever. Or even if I wear jeans with boots or whatever, I'll put on the high socks. And but just recently I was like, fuck it. Like when we went to Disney, at the beginning of the week, I had
yep.
on shorts and I had high socks.
Did you get the
And
hat with your name stitched?
no, but do I have it? I did get a fucking hat. It's dope though. It's just fucking just a little hat and it just has like a little Mickey in it. So I said, fuck it. I just get something. And my lady was like, that's you, dog. It's all black with just a little Mickey. And the
No,
Mickey is even like gray stitching.
that's great.
But anyway, so I wore shorts because I was like, fuck it, dog. We're gonna be at the park. It's gonna be fucking humid. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna wear shorts and I just had like calf high socks. Well, Savino was saying he hasn't picked a side because I think Rich was saying he still only wears the little ones or whatever. And so they were like, "Do you mean you're bisexual?" And Camino was like, "I guess I haven't picked a side. I don't know because I'm kind of the same way. I find myself wearing high socks
It depends
more
what it's for.
more now. One thing that I disagree with Rich on though is that he said he doesn't see anybody wearing high black socks. I see that shit all the time,
Me
dog. I don't
too.
know. I don't know if the high
Maybe not
socks
in
with
LA.
like the khaki colored shorts or whatever, like the fucking like the Dickies or whatever. And
And let's investigate that statement for about 20 seconds. Where
mm,
does Rich go that Rich doesn't see anyone with high black socks?
yeah,
Fox,
mm,
Addie's,
yeah.
right? Where else is Rich? The Home Depot and Sherman Oaks. Of course, you're not going to see it there.
Dog, I saw this dude at Disney and he had a fucking dope ass outfit. He had on a
You will
black
see it at Disney.
So he had a black Disney shirt and he had on like these fucking like khaki colored like Dickies with
Mm-hmm.
the fucking black shoes and the high black socks.
Okay.
His fit looked fucking dope, dog. I was kind of jealous, I'll be honest. So I literally had seen it like the day he was talking about it. I was like, I just saw that shit fucking today. Yeah,
Too
so
much.
yeah.
Let's get into this other little fucking topic.
All right.
What about the producer, bro?
What about the producer? The professional juicer?
Because is that what the professionals is for? The deucing?
Yeah, let's get into him. What's going on?
What do you think about keeping? What do you think about the CNR for dummies? That's not like the ultimate insult and backhanded compliment. Like,
What do you mean? The CNR for dummies?
didn't you see that Spot said he leaves the little CNR for or producing for dummy for CNR whatever when he goes out of town in that little fucking post?
No, I didn't see that.
I thought I saw something. I could be wrong. Now you're making me question my life.
No, you
But
could have. I mean, you could have seen. I missed a lot of CNR shit, this week because I was out of town.
mhm.
But yeah, I may have missed it. So he said that he leaves CNR for dummies so they can run the show
but
or what?
but the thing is, even when they run the show, like every rapper out there, how many do both?
What do you mean? Produce and rap?
Right. There's only a couple Kanye's.
Yeah, yeah, for
Jay-Z's
sure.
not making the beats, right?
I don't think so.
I'm just so I don't know, man. Hopefully they can get someone to fill in. I forgot we'll cut this part out. I forgot what my whole thing was, but
um,
maybe
you
just
know
cut
what?
it. Yo.
Well, I have actually something that I may cut from the road shit too. But when I was actually out of town, um, Danny G hit me up and he was like, hey, he was like, can you do me a favor? He's like, and make me a. They were filling in for Colin Cowherd, right? So
Right.
he asked me to make him a graphic for to promote whatever their the filling in for the herd or whatever. So I told him I was like, hey, I'm in LA. I was like, I'll fucking when I get back home tonight, I was like, I'll work on it. So when I got home that night, I made him a little fucking shit and gave it to Danny G. He posted it on all their social. And
Hmm.
then you know what? I will say Spy hit me up and he said, hey bro, he said, that was a dope graphic or whatever. And he fucking just he texted me and he like
Well, that's cool.
drops. So I go, that was pretty cool because I was like, wait, is it hey, that was cool? Or hey, I see you. Yeah, then I started getting into that. Like in my mind, I started going into a million places. Like, is he like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because Danny G was probably like, hey, I talked to Daniel Fitz from the after show, but later, and he sent me this, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then, because that had to come up in conversation when they were gonna post it. So
Let me
I
ask you this, and I'm not saying you're one and he's the other, but do you think Michael Jordan ever worried about what everyone else had going on,
probably not.
or Kobe? Kobe didn't do his workout compared to your workout. If it did, it's because he wanted to do it longer.
Mm,
He didn't give a shit what you were doing,
yeah,
especially if it was less than him.
yeah. So yeah, so I don't know. I was just I to me, I go, "Oh, that was cool," because I had sent it to Danny G the night before, and then I think Wednesday morning was when he posted it, and then
Hmm.
Spot texted me like right after it was posted. So I was like, "Oh, okay, we'll see what's up." I mean, but I don't know. But anyway, I just think it's cool, dog, that fucking that I'm somebody that Danny G thinks of.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like Danny G. I think he
Deserves more.
brings. Well, he definitely brings his A game, and he brings influence, and he brings subject matter. I like his input on the Fox Sports Radio show. I just do.
Yeah. You know what? And I'll be real. um a few, maybe I don't want to say a few months ago, but maybe like 6 to 8 months ago, I was like, when they were in Vegas and they were doing these different things, I was like, is Danny G kind of overstepping? Because
I don't think so.
when they would do stuff, he would be on stage with them and he would do this and that. But as time has gone on, dog, I'm like, I dig his vibe. I dig I don't know, I dig it. I don't think from what I see, he gets all of his things done that he needs to get done as a producer. And
Right.
if he's up there with them or whatever, he's still, I mean, doing his shit. So I dig it, but I don't know. I feel like Danny G deserves more. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I want to know this. I mean, is the spot come up with topics and games and guests and callers? Like, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, think about. I know it's not Sirius XM, and I'm not saying that it needs to be, but he could still figure out for people to call in, even if it was listeners. Like, I guess the excuses. Yeah, nobody wants to call anymore because blah 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 or whatever. But I'm sure he could call the Lisas and Funky Monkeys or one of us or Mauser or the people in the chats that are in there it's the same people every day.
And you know what I think would be cool? In the chat, why not put, hey,
Call.
call, yeah, in the chat every so often. Hey, fucking 877 99 Indy or whatever the fuck their number is, right? Or CNR show 402 CNR show or whatever. Fucking put that in there in the chat. Hey, hit us up, call us. Um, I don't know. I just think it would be cool.
Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to keep getting into that, I guess, because I pissed a couple people. I pissed one person off individually, and I like Spot. I really do. Spot's a good dude. I have nothing against Spot at all. I'm just, again, I'm coming from a production because even look at like La Russell. Man, I sent you the clip. He has this thing called Munch. Okay, so check this out. Like for all the people that don't know, I'm going to repeat what I heard from La Russell, but we'll give it away here for free because that's how I got it. It's called Munch. He'll do an interview and he'll put it in Munch and it'll come up with like 30 to 45 different clips. And he says he'll select the ones that he likes, the ones that make him giggle, the ones that make him laugh, the one where he's like, ha ha. at his own interview, and then it'll schedule those clips. He's like, there's clips getting posted right now. And he goes, and I'm interviewing with you. I'm not posting them.
Mhm.
That's how you do it. Like, it's just next level shit. How much do you care? How passionate are you about your craft?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, and get some callers involved. I'd like to hear Lisa or Funky Monkey or even Mauser call in. I'd like to hear these guys call in.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I would too.
Track down Nervous Matt. Call Mark in Colorado and have a threesome with them. I don't know, but just a little more.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna rest on the subject. I hope until I get fired up again. But yeah, why can't Danny G fill in? Is Danny G have obligations at FS1, or would that be stepping on toes?
Um, I know he works since he is part-time, he works for a handful of shows or at least a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So he may not be available, you know, at the drop of a hat like that. You know, I'm not sure.
Okay. So with that being said,
Mhm.
I heard Spot make the best point that I've ever heard him make the other day.
Huh.
Did you hear how he was saying that Peloton was $113 a share at one point, and now it's three?
It's $3 a share?
He said, bro, whoever was fighting the pandemic, they should have bought up cycling locations that went broke, both online and physical. That's what Peloton should have did, and he's right.
Yeah.
Peloton should have started establishing when they were at their peak like that. They should have used some of that financial leverage to get some physical locations. I'm not saying go all in on physical locations, but I'm sure they could at least hit a couple in like LA, New York, Chicago, Miami, you know, at least expand Seattle, Portland, you know, Dallas. I'm sure they could have got some kind of locations going and have physical and the digital online workouts.
Mhm.
But that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It went from 197 to $3 or 113 to $3.
No, and you know what, dog? I don't think enough people did that where when shit was on fire during the pandemic, where people were like, oh shit, like people binging Netflix and doing this and like Peloton and dog, like, why weren't those companies thinking of shit like that? Like, hey, you know what? Did they think the pandemic was gonna last forever? Because dog, they had to know that shit was temporary. And it may have
Well,
seemed like forever when it lasted 2, 3
well,
years.
you don't know. That's the plan. And you know, and like again, if you're in a retail business, you're writing a schedule and labor production only 12 weeks out.
Mm,
I have an expectation of what's going to happen over the next couple of months, but that's the next couple of months can be based on the months prior and you know, and data, running data and crunching numbers.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it ain't
It's
like it just
crazy.
fell off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all those crazy ass sales, like in retail, our sales went up like 45, 50%, you know, but it didn't just die 40 or 50% one day. It slowly started coming back to earth.
Yeah.
You got to read the numbers. You got to
Mhm.
read the numbers. That's why all these sports teams are, what are they? They're all data analysis driven, right? Aren't
Mhm.
they?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why these nerds are putting together teams.
Doug, you know what I've seen? And I'm like, people are so full of shit when it
What's
comes
that?
to giving like,
Hand
oh,
jobs?
we have yeah. This month we increased you know, fucking from 2021 till today, we're up 300%, right? But in reality, from last quarter, you're down 50%. But so I've seen how people can manipulate shit where they're not lying, but they're not giving the full truth. So, you know, like say,
Well, they're using comparisons that are irrelevant.
yeah, so it's like, hey, you know what? From last week to or last month to this month or last quarter to this quarter, you know, we're actually down 25% on our fucking revenue. But so then, okay, well then let's don't give those numbers. Let's say from 2 quarters ago.
See, we didn't
So,
do that.
I'm not saying you did, but
No, no.
I'm saying I've seen it done.
And it's well,
Wow.
that's when they're trying to manipulate someone. So, like for us in the grocery store, every day I got a sales sheet, and it was to plan and it was to last year.
Mhm.
And you always, last year was cute, but you always want to be over plan because plan is what dictates how much labor you got. So if you're behind plan, that means you're behind in labor.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ahead of plan, you're doing just what you're doing actually better than you projected.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're right. When they're selling businesses or whatnot, they're like, yeah, business is up fucking 200%. Yeah, dipshit. But after COVID, groceries went up 40%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No shit. It's
So what
just,
does
it's
that even
crazy.
mean? What does that even mean? So like even nowadays, if you're really trying to drive sales, the same number can't be the same as it was last year. You actually lost sales.
Yeah. Yeah. People are shady, dog. That's all I'm gonna say. People are shady.
Shady like a palm tree.
People are
Um,
Eminem.
yeah, they are. Mondays. The guys were saying Mondays are their busiest day. Mine too. Do you hit that bad boy running or do you dread it?
Mondays, nah, dog. I would say for me, probably Sundays are probably the worst for me
Yeah?
because yeah, because Doug, my running my daughter around to all of her shit and then trying to edit shit because I usually like to put our episodes out on Sunday or Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been editing for Kylie and their podcast. And it's
I don't know how you hooked up with those Kardashians. I don't, but hey.
no, but it was cool, dog. They just had on that chick, Lexi Brumback from that Netflix show. So she just did 2 episodes. So that was cool. And
Okay.
then so yeah, but so I literally
Oh,
this morning,
Fournier.
Andrew Fournier's here.
Tuesdays and Mondays hungover, Tuesdays blow.
So like I just edited part 2 of their interview with her today and made clips. So I'm like the yeah, Sundays are probably the worst for me.
Okay. Mine are Mondays. I mean, for me, because it kind of dictates the week. If I get a solid Monday and Tuesday, I can take off Wednesday. So I hit that shit running because I'm not trying to work 5 days if I don't have to. So I did. And what's funny is as I was listening to the replay, it was 6 a.m. and I was on my way to work
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
hit that fucker running. And then I listened to CNR and that's what they're talking about.
Um, yeah, I know. Let me see. Spot Spot's thinking about cutting his beard down to a mustache. That's one thing that's
It's
been
gonna be
big.
creepy. He's gonna look like a creep.
No, you know
Hey.
what? Actually, shout out to Rich because he actually liked one of my comments. So they were
Fucker gonna look like a ghetto ass wannabe generic Magnum PI.
what were they saying? They
He's
said
gonna be
if
he's gonna be Spagnum PI.
they said something about like if you something about getting more wild or some shit.
Instead of a Ferrari, he cruising around a little Mini Cooper.
And I had said, if Spot gets any more wild, I was like, his ass is going to be arrested. And Rich started cracking up and he read my comment. So I was like, oh, cool. Rich rarely reads my shit. So
Oh,
I thought that was pretty cool.
look at
But
Spagnum PI.
yeah, uh, yeah, I don't know. They hung out with Janelle. That was cool.
Yes.
They actually posted a picture, dog, and she looked good. And I think she's somebody who had a glam up or whatever they call it. Because when they
Okay.
first started the show with their dog, I did not think she was attractive. And we've had this conversation before.
I do.
As the show, no, I'm saying when they first started with her back in the day, I don't know. I think she kind of matured and kind of came into her
I
own
like how she says it, Papi.
over the last couple of years. So they posted a picture with her. She looked really good. So I thought that was cool. And they said, she's trying to get back into the swing of things and do big things. So
I
that's
beat
cool,
it to the
dog.
sweet meat.
She always seemed pretty cool. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah.
Yes, sir. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I had a random thought.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna offend some people right here, and that's all right.
Hmm.
Why would you buy a Kia or a Hyundai? Like, do people only do it because maybe those are the only people that'll finance them? Or they only could qualify for 26 instead of 30, so they couldn't get the Honda or the Toyota? Like,
No, I think
those are the worst cars on the planet. Like, why would you buy that? Like over and over. Those are vehicles where more people complain about them than say that it's never left me hanging.
I'll be honest though. I've never had a Hyundai, but I've known people with them. Sonatas, Elantras, fucking
Yeah, I had an Elantra.
And but
2007.
the people never, to me, they never. I know somebody who had a handful of Kias, and like the Telluride, those are pretty dope. I know somebody who got one, and they've never had an issue with it. So I don't know. I just, from what I've seen, is they're affordable and they're, I mean, good vehicles
Well,
from what I know.
affordable, that's part of the recipe because if they were fucking expensive, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, some of them
Is
look
it
pretty dope though. Like some, I saw some of the new is it a Sonata? It's like a sedan or some shit. Some of
with
them look
little
pretty cool. And
the
then
fin coming off the back of it?
Kia kind of rebranded with their
I
it,
didn't say they didn't look cool,
yeah.
but if when we're done, go to TikTok and just put Kia or Hyundai problems and look at all the things that come up. It's just not.
But can't you do that with anything? Can't you
I
do it with
bought.
Honda?
I had no,
Honda
not like that.
problems?
Okay, you know anyone that has a Honda with problems
Yeah.
that doesn't have 200,000 miles or didn't not take care of it?
I don't know many people with problems, to be honest. So
But
I don't
so
know.
the so I had a Hyundai. I had a 2007 Elantra, and when I bought it at 49,000 miles, the fuel pump went out. You ever bought a new car and the fuel pump go out under 50,000?
Nah.
So they fixed it. I'll give them that. They got that 100,000 mile warranty, and so they fixed it. They did. So they transferred it. So I think when you transfer it, it's like 3 years, 50,000 or something. You don't get the full Hyundai as a second owner, but they did fix it for free. So I didn't pay for that. But then the tranny started acting up. Like it started like slipping a
Oh,
little bit. Like
trannies act up a lot.
I'm sure, but I don't know any, so I don't. I just was scared with this thing. I seen this thing acting up, and I don't know. I don't know. And Mito's a mechanic, right? And also, one of my best friends is a mechanic, right? And he has been a mechanic for the last 30 years. So, with that being said, they're just not the same. They're Kias and Hyundais are here. Toyota and Honda are just a little bit up here. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't ever see the commercial where someone said my Toyota, where my Kia went 400,000 miles. Show me that commercial. Show me the Hyundai that made a 500,000, because I can show you hundreds of Toyota ones.
Yeah. Toyotas are good cars. I'll give you that. I
So,
love
but they're close. So if the stupid Elantra is 26,000 and the Camry is 28, what kind of dumb bastard would buy the Elantra?
my sister has a Camry dog. It's fucking it looks sleek and it's a good ass car. And my parents had one years ago. Actually, I ended up getting it from them.
See, so
And that was a good ass car too until I fucking totaled it.
So
Um,
let me before you said those two things, let me repeat the question. If one is 26 and one is 28, why would you buy the 26? Everyone you know can say what you just said about a Toyota and a Honda. Nobody ever says that about Hyundais or Kias. They look cool. You're right. The Tellurides look dope. I like them. They look cool. Never buy one.
yeah, Luis says his sister loves Kias. She just got an Acura and said she wants to go back to her Kia.
Yeah.
Well, where do Acuras sit on this?
I mean, that's the first time in my life I ever heard someone that wants to go from an Acura to a Kia. But hey, it's first time for everything, because Acura is the luxury version of Honda. So she don't even like that. She wants to go from a luxury car back to a Kia, I guess.
Hey, she's very particular.
Okay. Does it get better
Yeah,
gas mileage?
they're usually, I think they're pretty good on gas mileage.
The Kias are, huh?
But Covino was talking about he recently sent a shitload of his home videos to this
Yes.
company called iMemory.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last few days, he's been showing little clips. Dog, he showed one today. Today's Thursday for you people in Futureland. Um, he showed a video, dog, of him and Barry hitting wiffle balls on fucking the front lawn or whatever of his parents' house. It's funny as hell. Cavino's 14, dog. Him and Barry are there shirtless, and they're fucking hitting fucking wiffle balls and then running and grabbing them and then hitting them again.
Well,
And
that's
I'm like,
great.
dog, it's crazy because you see that those videos and you're like, fuck, dog. It is really like it takes you back where you're like, damn, you think about yourself in like 95 and shit and what you were doing and shit. So it's cool to see videos like that, you know?
Yeah, my dad didn't let Jason Espinoza borrow all my boys league tapes. I still have them. Thanks, pops. Never
Oh,
saw him
for real?
again. Then Wasim had them, and then never saw him again, bro.
Oh, for real? Dog, we have
Yeah.
so many. We have so many.
Yeah, I'd post them. I should. I used to be. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Saturday morning, and we'd be up all night Friday night, and I would just look them across the line and tell them, "I'm going to eat your heart," and I would just run them over, bro. It was not. It was not cute.
Yeah. Yeah. We had so many home videos and shit that I need to convert. Actually, I bought a converter But dog, doing that shit yourself, so time consuming.
Send it. Did Covino say it costs a lot of money?
I don't know. He said, I think he said he sent 19 tapes and they could only convert 17 of them because two of them were copywritten. But I think he
Oh.
said it was like $500. And then he said, but when they sent him his box, they sent him a coupon for $250 like rebate or some shit. So it only
Mm-hmm.
cost him like 250 or some shit.
Well, that ain't
So
bad.
yeah.
All
But
right,
I
man.
feel like I would be very particular, dog, on fucking like going through the shit and cutting it up
Yeah.
myself and stuff, you
Yeah.
know?
What if you threw you had a little tape you made or whatnot, or back when I was a kid, maybe that was a relabeled adult movie video and you just put
Yeah.
like Steve's game on it or something instead
Yeah.
and he forgot.
Well, Michael Jackson Victory Tour 1992, and then you put it
Yeah.
on and it's gash galore too.
Oh gosh.
I don't
That's
know.
great.
Um,
What about Rich talking about the guys on his softball team and finding out more about them and says you can't judge a book by its cover, even when you know guys 5 to 10 years.
yeah, I agree. But people do it, people do it, and but I definitely agree.
But people don't normally present the shitty version of themselves.
And what I'm saying though is
You know what I'm
Rich,
saying?
he's talking about dudes when they're going to play softball.
Well,
So,
and
Doug,
he's 50s.
are they gonna be fucking in a suit and tie, or are they gonna go in some gym shorts and a fucking old t-shirt?
Have a good day, bro. Happy birthday to your daughter or son or daughter.
Shit, it's her birthday already again. Fuck. Seems like she has one of those every
Come on,
year.
Uncle D.
Well, happy birthday to her.
Yes.
Um, damn, dog, it's already fuck. I thought. Oh, anyway, yeah. Well, tell her I
But
said happy birthday. I need to send her a little voice memo.
I'm gonna send her some cash app.
Send her a voice memo. She got Luis. She's doing fine.
I'm going black
Um,
screen for a minute.
all right,
Um,
cool.
I'm having internet issues. I don't know.
Dog, just like you're tuned in when you're having internet issues, dog, your camera
Uh,
goes off. It's
I,
okay. It's okay.
I blocked myself. There we go. But I'm still here for the people. But no, the thing is he think that they're gonna give him the best, but you're gonna have to go over to their pad. And of course, it's LA, bro. They're gonna be living in trailers and funny stuff. I mean, you know how many people fight hard to stay there or live there or just be there in general? I got a buddy right now living in Morro Bay, got no business being there.
Why is it expensive or what?
Probably as much, if not more than Sherman Oaks. I'll tell you that much. It's yeah, you gotta make probably 2, 3 hun to live there and be able to save money and save for retirement and enjoy yourself. But people do it.
Yeah, no, I just know that you took me to a few places, and I know Morro Bay was one of them. I just didn't
Yes.
know how it is to live there.
Yeah, no, it's not cheap.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Luis is gonna be in town tomorrow.
There you go.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah, dog. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, we got to get in some dominoes with your dad. And I don't give a fuck if we have to pay.
El
His dad
Venado.
last time we were gonna play dominoes with him, and he's like, I don't play for free anymore. And
Good. Smart man.
I was like, all right, well, fuck, I
Time
don't
is
care.
money.
We usually play like $20 a game.
El Venado knows time's money, bro.
Yeah, I owe him $20 from the last game that he won. So
Cash app.
yeah, I was gonna pay him, and he was like, mijo, hang on to it. He's like, next time we play, he's like, that'll be my fucking entry fee or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So I pay $40 next time we play.
Well, back to the softball thing. And Rich, just because we hit dingers twice a week playing softball, I'm not telling you all my personal secrets, bro. You're not in the in circle. You don't get to know the stuff yet that just because we're on a softball team together, that's
Doug,
like sharing your personal life with people at work. Why would you do that?
but the thing is, Doug, who fucking is gonna do that during a softball game?
And no one's going to make themselves, you're men competing in a sport. Do you think people are going to make themselves look weak on purpose?
Yeah,
Bro, it's men competing in a sport. No one
yeah,
is going to be like, hey, I suck and live in a trailer and I still live in old Mother Hubbard's shoe.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
That's why you
Uh,
smell like leather all the time. No, they're not going to tell you that. You have to
uh,
find that. But you know what, though? Dickie Doolittle, investigator, it is 2024. I'm sure all you have to do is search them and you can figure all that crap out.
Dog, he's
Well,
the same person that says he looks up how much your house is worth when he's visiting you and shit. So, he should, I mean,
I want to look up his house.
I've looked it up.
If it ain't worth 2 tickets, he better stop.
It is.
It's worth 2 tickets?
Yeah.
All right, well then, but then why is he like, if you got a house worth 2 tickets, why do you care what anyone else's house is worth? You got 2 tickets.
I don't know. But yeah, nah, I've
Well,
seen
good
it.
for him. Good for you, Rich. That's dope. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was probably worth at least a ticket, but
Yeah, nah.
it's worth two Kevin Garnett's, two big tickets.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he that's what he got it for. So now it's probably worth close to four,
Three,
maybe
three,
three or
three or
four.
four Kevin
I don't
Garnett's.
know because Doug,
Fuck,
I
okay.
saw pictures when he bought it,
Uh-huh.
right? Or whenever it was for sale or whatever the fuck. Doug, that shit looked like it was from like the 1970s and they hadn't touched it. And we all know he renovated that house,
Yeah,
right?
he
But
did. He
but
gutted
Doug,
it. He Kanye'd it. That's Kanye Davis.
I'll send you pictures later of it. I might even be able to find some right
Hey,
now, Doug.
Kanye Davis, he just finished the project.
Let me see.
That's great. Well, good for him. Still shouldn't be judging anybody else, but good for you, Rich.
Yeah.
So what about the school chat where he says he's always trying to think of these funny jokes when the chat comes up and Sarah's telling him to fuck, he can't turn it off.
Oh, that was funny, Doug. That was on Half Smut.
I
And
know.
because I remember Nicole was talking to him about it, I was laughing so hard at that because I go, fucking Rich Dog, it's different when somebody's saying something and you think about it and it crosses your mind, right? And it's different when you're trying to hold yourself back because you want to and you're having to fucking grit your teeth and shit over here because you're like, I don't want it to get out. I don't like Doug. To me, I'm like, it just goes to show you that like he just can't help but being like the center of attention and shit because that's just him wanting to like either make somebody laugh or make somebody like, ooh, that was controversial or that, you know what I'm saying? That's just, he can't help it.
I worked with a dude at Me and Ed's, and I think I've said this in the show, and I'm going to say it again. And I use it sometimes, and sometimes I don't even think about it, and I should use it. His name was Chia. He said, watch with your eyes, listen with your ears, and you keep your mouth closed. Be like a fly on the wall.
Damn, that's some genius ass shit.
Yeah, and I'm not the best at always using it, but I'll tell you this, whenever Chia pops in my head and I think about it, I use it. Because it's insecurity. Like there's a lot of people out there that can't handle silence, and so they think something's wrong. Or if you know what I'm saying, people aren't talking, and I don't know, man. It doesn't always have to be like that.
He said, see with your eyes, listen with your ears, and keep your mouth shut.
And then he said, "Be like a fly on the wall."
Yeah. Was there any more shit from Smut that you wanted to talk about?
Last one's the banana hammock. Did you hear him and ask? And he's like, "You wouldn't like your guy in a banana hammock?" And he's asking about if they take fucking their best lingerie when they go out of town, and they said they didn't care. They're like, when we're about to get down, I've never said no to someone because he had on weird boxers.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Just put it in
Unless they had like fucking shit stains. That'd be
think about
bad.
it. Think about it from like your perspective, dog. Are you gonna fucking turn down a chick because she doesn't have on the draws you like or what?
I only if they had mancha de caca. There were stains on there, bro. I'd turn
Yeah.
it down in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, there was that one time Rich put it in some girl's butt and he pulled it out and a little piece of shit came out, remember?
Some mancha.
Yeah. Not a mancha, just a fucking piece of shit, actually.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I'm just saying, like, I know people are doing some weird stuff nowadays, but that is gross. On your Wessel?
Yeah.
Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. I had a buddy that did that. He told me he went scrub clean, bro.
Oh, dog, this is what he
Oh,
bought.
dog. Menace to Society. He's one of my favorite characters of all time.
You know what? I'm gonna drop this to you real quick in a message so you could look at this shit, dog. Dog, look at the fucking pictures on how this shit looked back in the day.
That's back in the day.
Yeah. Dog, look at some of that wallpaper and shit.
Oh, he's not playing around, is he? Oh, Captain Tickets. Good
Oh,
for him.
you see what he got it for?
Yeah, good for him, bro.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Good for him. Yeah.
And then what, put like maybe fucking
We
300 G's or
are the
some shit.
world. We are the people.
Yeah. We
It's still
are
tight
making
though.
lots of it was tight. It was just outdated. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
was
all that wallpaper and shit. And but like literally from the outside, the pull and shit, all that still looked hella dope even back then, you know?
meets George Jetson. Do 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 do.
Doc, has anybody ever said that Greg looks like George Jetson? Because he
I
does,
have.
huh?
He
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely does.
yeah.
Rich is
Okay.
a little Elroy. Come on, Dad.
Uh
Come on, Rosie.
let me see. Abusing fucking therapy terms or go-getter versus desperate. Oh, and they had this conversation about like there's a fine line between being a go-getter and being desperate. And I kind of I mean I think it's a good conversation because you
It is.
do like they were saying when they fill in for Colin Cowherd or fucking one of these other old fucks on sports that they fill in and they kind of want to put it out there like, hey, when one of these old motherfuckers retires, what's up, but they don't want to be too fucking naggy because
No,
then
you
you're going to
don't.
turn people off. So
It's
there's
not
a
about
fine
being,
line.
it's the fine line. I'm telling you from someone that needs people to step up in situations like that in my previous careers, there is a fine line. The haters call it desperate. The leaders call it dependable.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
know I know I can count on these guys. So when you're going to promote, don't you think you're going to go to the people that never let you down? Of
mm,
course, they never let you down.
yeah. Um, but yeah, no, that's where
But say it with confidence. If you need me, I got you. Hey, boss, I got you. Even if it's tired, man, I hate getting up at 6 a.m., boss, but for you, I got you.
yeah,
Do it
yeah.
like they owe you. It's not desperate if you act like if you because they're gonna come and ask you every time. So just keep it in that type of vibe. Like I'm, sure, I got you. And not even like I'm doing you a favor, just that, hey, you're my boss, I'm taking care of you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because one day, you don't tell them that, but one day I'm gonna need you to take care of me.
Yeah. And
And
that's
if
the
I
thing is that you could, they were saying you have to at least put it out there, like I think they have told the boss, hey, when they retire, we want this time slot or whatever, just put it out there and just continue doing what you're doing. Continue being
right.
dependable, like you're saying, and fucking if they need a fill in, nobody wants to do it. It's Labor Day, it's A, B, or C, then fucking yeah, then be there. But I think when it comes to being desperate, is every fucking chance, every interaction with them, there's something mentioned of it. Hey, so fucking yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, remember when Colin retires? Hey, remember when fucking Cowherd
Yeah,
retires?
no, I wouldn't say it all the time. I putting it out there's one thing, but yeah, I wouldn't keep bringing it up. But like the thing is too, though, it goes back to like I said with LaRussell and the blueprint on how to get go viral on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same, but it is. They always doing it is opening yourself up to different listeners and different platforms. I mean, you might snag a couple from here and a couple from there, and maybe this guy didn't like you at first, but now he's like, what, I kind of like these two, and maybe they follow you. So I think it's not desperate. You're putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting in the work. Desperate would be bugging them about it. Hey, just keep us in mind. No, I would don't do that. They know who they got, and you don't bringing it up once, I don't think it's bad, but constantly reminding them of it, yeah, don't do that. They got other shit to worry about. They know who they want and they know who has their back and whatnot, and just bring it up in the interview. You know what I mean? Like when they
Mm-hmm.
interview for that job or whenever they start having meetings or whatever, say, hey, we always fill in whenever you need us. Nothing will change. It'll only get better.
Yeah. Right.
Let's save it for then.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I just when you said what was it, munchies or whatever the fuck? I remembered.
Mancha.
No, 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 no. The one that LaRussell said.
Oh, Munch.
Munch, yeah. So when you said that reminded me, I need to send Kylie the fucking link because I uploaded the shit this morning. So before I make it public, so I just gotta make a little reminder for myself.
Well, Andrew says that hustling is a bad word these days, and it's right because you know what? The nerds took over and it's all lazy people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what they do now. It's like, because everyone has feelings, like they want you to respect their feelings that they feel you're doing too much. It's like, well, hold on, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
I will say this, and for anyone listening, this is a fact. Now is the opportunity and the time for the shark and for the wolf, because
Yeah.
there ain't nothing but a bunch of weenies everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're that hustler and you're that dog, you got that dog in you. I mean, that dog, not like on Saturday or maybe next week. Like when you go every single day and you're getting it, those are the people coming to the top right now because this pool is watered down.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
water. It's just watered down.
Yeah.
You know what
Another
I mean?
thing.
I don't even look at even for me in my own business. I can call in and go home and do whatever the fuck I want whenever I want. I see workers at all these stores calling in all the time. I see other vendors come. I just even people that have their own shit. There's just not a lot of dogs out right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
There's just not.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of all the shit I have to do now when we're done. Like I have to fix that audio shit that was, when we got started.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so now I'm thinking about all the shit that I have to do immediately after we're done. Andrew Fournier says, I'm an electrician. I can work as much as I want. Yeah. And that's the thing is that you can work as much or as little as you want. But I mean, from what I know about electricians, they make some money. So the more you fucking hustle, the more you're gonna actually, provide and shit, and that's cool. And you will allow yourself to take those days when you do need to take them. You don't feel guilty because you know you're fucking hustling.
Hey, what state are you in, Andrew? Is he in Cali?
Fournier is in the Northeast, I believe.
No, okay. I was gonna say, hey, I might know someone that needs 300 amps, 220.
No, he's not in Cali though.
Oh, all right. See if he caught
Uh,
that. Let's see if he caught that one.
yeah, yeah. Um,
But no, it's right now it is because, and I'll tell you this: I saw a dog today. This kid was only, and he's a young kid, and he was. I'm
Massachusetts
gonna tell Kim Dog. I said, "What's up?"
or Massachusetts.
But I saw this cat today. He's 24 and he's a supervisor with Frito Lay, and he's out there throwing loads. And I was just like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Because supervisors aren't really supposed to be doing that because he got supervisor. Oh, he caught it.
Mhm.
They got supervisor shit to do. You know what I'm saying? And uh, and he's working like he's the dude. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, this and that. It's the role model. And they look up. I was like, yeah, I get it. But I'm also going to tell you that once you climb a certain high in the ladder, like up the ladder, like the Campbell Soup CEO is not throwing goldfish. You know what I mean? If your supervisor is doing your job, there's a problem. There's a big problem because the manager broke down, the people underneath the management broke down. Like now we're at like three different chains of command having to do the job. That's an issue. It's great for morale, it is. But he's like, I still get all my other stuff done too. So I don't know. He's a dog, but you don't see very many that just don't care and dedicate their whole life to a career.
Yeah.
Old people used to do that, remember?
Oh
It's
yeah.
the factory, it's Ford. They're
Yeah.
coming home and they're beating their 9 to 5 and eating their TV dinner, and life was good.
Yeah. They actually, Covino and Rich had a conversation about that today about how simple or how much more simple life was back in the day because it was you went 9 to 5, you punched out, you came home, you had dinner. There wasn't no, not everybody was scrolling on their phones and shit, right? There were no phones and just how much more of a simple time it was. And I'm like, that it is crazy, dog. Because I think Rich was like, "What did people do?" And I was like,
They
they were
talked,
in the moment, right?
they
They were
watched
watching
TV shows,
together, right, as a
played
family.
board games.
Fucking yeah, like dog. I remember, you know how many times I remember my mom being on the phone like with my tias and shit, and I'm fucking playing there with my fucking monitos and shit, my little WWF The Rock and shit,
Yeah.
what's Stone Cold and fucking, and then
And she had that big old fucking cordless phone like this with the
yeah,
fucking antenna that came out. Everyone
yeah,
had that one,
fucking
didn't they?
of course. And
Or the
dog,
Conair Clear phone, remember?
I remember when we fucking got it was like a little headset or whatever, like you could plug into the
The
phone
fetal.
and you
Uh-huh.
look like a fucking telemarketer.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like the
yeah.
headphones with the mic, dog, and my mom was doing dishes and shit while she's talking. I was like, dog, she's in the future. She looks like Janet Jackson.
Look like Jane Jetson.
Ah,
That's great.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
for
no. So I mean, those back in the day though, you're eating your pot pie, remember?
oh yeah. Remember the corn with weenies that nobody ever ate but me and my whole fucking I never met nobody else. I dog, remember we put that clip about the ghettoest meals? I
Mm-hmm.
fucking searched corn with weenies, dog, or hot dogs in corn or whatever. I couldn't even find that shit on Google. That's how fucking hood it was.
Bro, you're the only vato I ever seen drink salsa too. But that's another story. I never seen that, bro. All I know is vato. I ain't never seen nobody take a 16-ounce cup and start fucking chugging on it like it was juice.
Well, you know what? I like to do that a
But
lot
I'm gonna
when
do it. But I'm gonna do it when I come back.
but even dog, it doesn't even have to be that one. Even when it's like a breakfast burrito and you're biting into it and you fucking drink some of the salsa, whatever wherever it's from. Oh fuck yeah, dog. Cause you're now it's soaking into whatever the fuck you're chewing.
No,
Wee.
I mean you live and die by the code. And then I met Mama Fitz and she said the same thing. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I guess it's official.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess I'm
dog.
have to. I'm drinking salsa when I come hang out with you people. So we're gonna get down. I want to go try.
Uh,
That's where we got to go first too. I want to go back there, and I got. That's what we got to do. The first thing I do when I get into town, we got to go to Mr. G's, and I got to drink the salsa.
you do. You do 100%.
That's number one. That's number one on my list.
Yeah. Real quick, dog. I have a quick story because I know we're gonna wrap up soon, but
Mm-hmm.
dog, I fucking I
Magnum.
I do not like fucking roller coasters, right? I
Okay.
don't I
Why
don't
not? What don't you like about them?
I don't like I don't like I don't mind like a roller coaster, but I don't like shit with like immediate drops, right? Like the Tower of Terror. Hate that shit,
Oh,
right?
I like that's fun
Like I
shit.
fuck no, dog. I that's the worst shit.
So you don't like it. So, well, where's the fear? Are you scared it's gonna break? It's gonna get stuck?
No, it's just that feeling that happens in your stomach
Oh,
where
you
you're
don't like the
fucking
feeling it gives you. Like you get sick a little bit.
yeah, like I fucking hate it. Like I feel like
Okay.
my butthole's gonna drop out of my ass and my
Okay.
fucking stomach's gonna come out through my fucking mouth. I hate it.
That wouldn't be good.
That's how I feel though, dog. Imagine that. Your
Yeah.
fucking all your intestines just fall out of your ass and then your fucking stomach comes up through your mouth. I fuck okay. So
Drew hates it too.
we were at so like dog, like I don't mind even like fucking like when you're on a roller coaster, right? And you're going like
Yes.
like I don't they're not my favorite, but I don't mind them. But when it comes to fucking like those immediate drops, the fucking like I hate that shit. So anyway, we're at California Adventure earlier this week,
Okay.
and we're like, oh, there's a fucking ride, right? It's indoors or whatever. So fucking all right, let's go jump on that shit. So me, my lady, and my fucking daughter get
Oh, Tower of Terrors?
no, we go to the fucking we get on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride,
Okay.
right? First of all, I never seen the fucking movie.
I
A,
haven't either. I haven't either.
B, we get in right, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a fucking this is gonna be like maybe it has like one drop and then whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dog, the whole shit is basically like a bootleg fucking Tower of Terror. And me and my daughter, dog, are like, oh shit. Like, so we get in and it's like, it lifts you up. It's like, and you're like, oh fuck. It drops you like immediately. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I fucking hate this. I was like, well, at least maybe that was like the only one. So then they
Yeah.
drop you and they fucking open up like this screen and shit. And you see like fucking people fighting and shit. Like, I guess like the movie. And then you're like
Mm.
watching. And then mid fucking fight, dog, they just drop your ass again. And you're like, what the fuck? Right. So I was trying to anticipate when the drop was going to happen. So I could clinch up and shit. And
That's why your butthole's falling out.
and then so I was trying to anticipate it, but I was wrong every time. So I was like, and then I was like, oh fuck, it's not gonna happen. And then we fucking drop again, dog. And I was like, fuck. And my daughter's like,
I'd pay
I
to see
hate
that.
it. I hate it.
I don't want to see that. That's sad.
Right, dog. And then fucking I was like, oh, shit ever. And then it was like, and then they opened the fucking we get to the top, and then they open like the big ass window, and you see the whole fucking park. And you're like, oh my God, there's the whole fucking and they fucking drop you again. You're like, dog, I fucking hated that. So if you hate drops and you go to California Adventure, don't get on that fucking bootleg Tower of Terror shit. It was the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. I fucking haven't hated something so much in a long time, and I fucking hated that.
See, I'm a Magic Mountain guy. I like Ninja and all the ones they got over there.
Yeah, like again, like the Superman. I'll never ride
Superman.
that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that shit.
And you know what I'm doing? As I'm getting older, it's less and less, but I had a pass. I mean, I had a pass unlimited at Six Flags, all the ones in the state as recent as 2018, 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not dog. And
Parking was
then
free. It was like $8 a month. Parking was free. You could get in and yeah, it was chill.
Yeah, the only good part was, dog, that our hotel was across street from Disney. So, like,
So
on Monday, we went to
you can
Disney.
go throw up over there after you're done, or what?
Yeah, basically. We did fucking, like, 13 hours on fucking Monday.
Okay.
I was spent. I was like, "Fuck this shit, dog." I fucking was like, "Alright." And then, Tuesday, we did fucking, California Adventure, which I think I like more. I've never been to California Adventure, but I think I liked it more than Disney.
And
Um,
yeah, Disney's for
di
little
It's
kids.
alright. I mean, but I mean, my lady loves Disney, but even she was like, "I think I like California Adventure." And I was like, "Yeah, me too." But I'll give you this, the food there fucking blows. It's way better at fucking Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, there's my little recap of the beginning of the
Hey, we
week.
got a guest real quick. Hold on.
Who do we have?
Man, you got some money or not? Oh man, come on, man. Why you hook me up this time? Nigga, you hook you up. Fuck out of here, man.
O Dog. You wanted to say hi.
Oh,
You brought him
fuck.
up earlier, so O Dog had to say hi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But, do you have anything else, Doug, you wanna talk about
Nah,
before we
that's
wrap
it.
this shit up?
Uh-uh.
After show, but later, we will, I have a lot of work to do, but,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna sit here and continue to do this while we fucking sign off, and we will see you guys in the next episode. We thank you guys for joining us live. Andrew, have a good day. Fucking Luis, have a good birthday dinner with your kid. Everybody else, we will see you in the future. Hopefully, you guys get to join us again soon after show, but later, we will see you later. Peace.